And welcome to another edition of your Community Spotlight on 96.3 KRIM. Randy Roberson with you on a Wednesday morning, currently 84 degrees outside right now. This morning on our Community Spotlight, I'm going to talk a little bit about Aspire Arizona, which the MHA Foundation has been supporting, and they've been doing some pretty interesting things. With us in the studio this morning, we have, and Patty, remind me how to pronounce your last name again?
Beecham.
Beecham, okay, I got it now. Patty Beecham, and she's with Aspire Arizona Foundation. She's a board member there. Also from Payson High School, the principal, Jeff Simon, with us. And first of all, thanks to both of you for being here.
Thanks for the invite.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, I get there's got to be at least one person out there that isn't familiar with Aspire Arizona yet. Patty, can you give us just a little bit of the Reader's Digest condensed version of what it is and what they're all about?
Certainly, Randy. So the Aspire Arizona Foundation was founded in 2016, and we have the dual credit program. And so what that means is that students are able to, in tandem with getting high school credits, are also able to get college credits for general education specific classes. So we've been doing that since then.
Wow.
And so it's a project that is near and dear to my heart, as it is, I know it is to Principal Simons as well, because we've helped so many students. In fact, this last year we had 141 students who participated, and total over the lifespan since the program, we've had 359 participants to date, earning 4,000 dual credits, and over $200,000 in tuition has been paid for them. And a lot of that's been done, Randy, through the generosity of our town.
Right. Well, I mean, that's astounding. Those are some really serious numbers. And from the perspective of the high school, again, Principal Jeff Simon with us, what does this mean, for you from the perspective of the high school?
Well, I think that we're setting kids up for success in that we have students who have already completed their first year of college,
right,
and now they're going off. They know and understand the expectations of what college is going to look like,
right,
especially whenever they're going off. So it's kind of a step in that direction. And it's always those classes that other students are striving for to want to get into. And so, I mean, it's changing the academic culture on campus.
Outstanding. And we are going to be talking to a student that's been impacted by this. Dylan Michaels is going to be here. He's the son of local physician, Dr. Alan Michaels. And it's been a while. He's just walked into the station. It's been a while since I've seen him. I have no idea what Dr. Michaels is feeding his son, but it seems to be going well. Last time I saw him, he was a lot smaller. The bottom line is this is something that you're hoping, Patty, to be able to positively impact more students as time goes on.
Yes, we really are. And so one of the reasons why we came out to KRIM today, Randy, is that we want to share the good things that are happening within the community, and really, fundraising is a fundamental piece of that. And so the more people who understand the impact to these wonderful students like Dylan, then the greater understanding they'll have, and the more that they'll want to participate.
And what an amazing way to have a positive impact right here in your own community, and be able to see those positive impacts by supporting something like this. And obviously, with the Aspire Arizona Foundation being a foundation, I'm assuming that all donations are tax deductible.
It is. And also, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, but also all of the funds that are donated to Aspire go directly into funding the dual credit tuition. So there's no overhead, anything like that. And everyone who participates in the foundation is a volunteer. We're all here because we have a passion to make a difference for these students and see more students like Dylan who are able to then aspire and complete their own college education.
As a matter of fact, last month when you were here, Principal Simon, I know I mentioned that I had still do actually, have a granddaughter who last year in her senior year, and I believe the year prior to that, was able to knock out a lot of college credits while she was still in high school, virtually taking care of her first year of college while still in high school. I mean, what a huge step forward.
Yeah, we have a lot of kids that come back and visit with us and just say, you know, how great it is to be able to step into that second year going off to MHA, U of A, or wherever they're heading.
Right.
How great it is to be able to, you know, bypass some of those lower level general ed classes and start getting close to their degree classes.
Well, and especially when you're heading off to college and you know, ready to be stimulated in a much, you know, bigger way perhaps, to not have to, you know, be mired down with stuff that would seem kind of rudimentary and you know, I don't know, duplicative. This seems like it's just a great way to keep, not only being able to knock those things out early, but being able to keep the kids interested in what's going on.
Well, yeah, and I also think that it's kind of that, you know, I talked about it before, that bridge that gets you from high school into college, because it's a scary prospect whenever you're taking your English 4 high school class and then next year you're in English 101 on site on a university campground or a university or a campus.
Yeah.
But now that they're taking those, you know, English 101, 102, and 241, 242, they're getting the flavor of what college is going to be like. And so now whenever they go off to their second year of college and then the first year on campus, it's really beneficial to them. I mean, we don't have those early freshman year classes being failed.
Right.
These kids are already knowing and learning the expectations.
And so that's a much more positive, you know, environment for them. And I would assume then that it's also creating more positive self-image with the kids, so that they're more apt to be successful moving forward.
Absolutely. You know, we see a lot of confidence on campus. And kids kind of defending their own education, you know. I mean, it's important to see that this is where I want to be, this is what I want to attain, and these kids are going after it.
Gotta love it. Now, roughly, how many kids, Patty, have been through this program, roughly so far?
141 participants last year and 359 participants to date. And also to share with you some of the other advantages that, because I'm a researcher, I am a grant writer, so I do a lot of research on the subject. And I was sharing this with Jeff earlier, is that, you know, not only do the numbers show that it increases self-confidence, but then those students are more likely to go on to the university, which is a big thing. And it saves money, the kids get to work sooner, saves time, of course, and so we're estimating maybe about $12,000 a year is how much that they have deferred or saved for each year that they're able to take advantage
Per
of.
student?
Per student, yes.
Wow, that's substantial.
So that really is. And then also we've noticed just in the last few months, and I try to stay connected to, just as Principal Simon has, with those students and finding out little updates each year how they're doing. What we found, Randy, is that a lot of those students are actually doing dual majors, and because of the time that they've been able to put in through Aspire, through the dual credit program, they're then able to usually finish within 4 years a dual major program.
Wow.
So they're really maximizing their time, and they're even able to do above and beyond a normal degree within that 4 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. And to be able to you know, be able to hit the ground in the business world or whatever vocation they go into, I mean, that to be able to get into that much earlier,
Yes.
just makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and also in terms of earning, I had done some research for a recent grant, and the Arizona Board of Regents last year did a study, and they said that students with a 4-year degree earned a median wage of $51,000 or $22,000 more than workers with just a high school diploma.
Right.
So you think about that, and I did the calculation on the back of a napkin this morning, and that's about $880,000 more over a 40-year lifespan, a career.
Right.
That is so significant. That right there is worth investing.
Talk about $1 million difference.
For,
Right?
yes, that's
Wow.
right.
That's amazing.
That's right. So that's the kind of difference that our community makes for these students, not just while they're going to college, but in their entire lifetime. So it's phenomenal, the difference that this program has made.
Now, if someone's listening right now and they've got a kid in high school and they're thinking, wow, you know, we need to check into this. What's the protocol? What would be the first steps for them to take to learn more about how their student can be involved?
So they can either contact the high school if they're already involved in school, and I believe Principal Simon, isn't it that they contact their guidance counselor?
Yeah, I didn't want to jump over the conversation, but yeah, they would contact Linda Griffith or Don Heiser there in the guidance office, and we would get them set up. And in fact, whenever we go to registration every year, all of those classes are listed on that year's registration form.
Right.
And so as a junior, you go see 101, 102, or English 101, 102, and all of these classes that they can take so they can reference back. And it's also in our course catalog.
And how long has this been going on at Payson High School?
So
2017.
2017?
Yes,
Wow.
excuse me.
So this has got to be a huge change. Now, before coming to Payson, Principal Simon, I mean, this isn't your first rodeo. You've been down the school administration road before. Have you been involved or seen anything like this before coming to Payson?
No, I actually had only worked in 2 other schools, and no, we didn't have anything like that in either school.
So, I mean, what's your gut reaction now that you've had a chance to see this for a little bit?
I'm floored by the opportunities our kids have.
Wow.
Especially
And here in
with
little old
enrollment.
Payson, you know?
Exactly, exactly. In fact, the last school that I came from, the community was about this size, and no, there was nothing like it.
Wow.
And so we are blessed with a great community.
Outstanding. And now we're going to have to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more also with Dylan Michaels. He is an Aspire student and a recent Payson High School graduate. We're going to get some perspective from him as far as what this meant to him and what he went through, and we'll get to all of that right after these words. Don't go away.
The one thing I forgot to mention is MHA's contribution, and I know I'm going to step out. Would you be able to discuss that?
Sure.
Okay, so MHA provides all the office and administrative costs, or support rather, so office and admin support.
Okay.
And they have provided matching funds for tuition. And without their help, we couldn't do this.
Okay, why don't we start talking with you
Okay.
about that,
And then I'll step out?
Yeah.
Okay, you just give me a nod?
Here we go. Yep.
Okay.
And welcome back to Community Spotlight on KRIM. You can also catch us live right now on Facebook Live. And we have with us in the studio this morning Patty Beecham. She's a Aspire Arizona Foundation board member, also the principal of Payson High School. Jeff Simon with us, and Dylan Michaels, an Aspire student, will be joining us in just a moment. But one of the things we want to be sure to point out here is some, when it comes to the support for this kind of project here in Rim Country, Patty, the MHA Foundation has been a real integral player in this whole thing.
Yes, MHA has. They generously, Randy, provided all of the office and administrative support. They've also provided matching funds for tuition. They've assisted in staffing for fundraisers. And so the bottom line here is, Randy, that without MHA's support and ongoing support, we couldn't do this. We couldn't be making a difference for students like Dylan.
So that's a big difference, specifically the MHA Foundation is making right here in Rim Country.
Yes.
I love it. And well, we want to find out a little bit about this from the student's perspective. And out in the studio, we have Dylan Michaels, again, a student that graduated last year from Payson High School. And he has benefited from the Aspire program and everything that it's brought to bear. And he's just now coming into the studio with us. And first of all, Dylan, it's good to see you. It's been a long time since I last saw you, and you're about 3 times taller.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot.
I don't know what your parents are feeding you, but they need to keep it up. So now, all seriousness, when it comes to this whole Aspire thing, you graduated last year from Payson High School, right?
This year.
Oh, this
yes.
year? Okay, that's right, it's summertime now.
Yeah.
Okay, and so in looking back, how has this impacted you? I mean, how do you feel about what Aspire has empowered you to be able to accomplish?
Oh, I think it's great. It's definitely given me a head start
Right.
for college, and I've got a lot of my prerequisites out of the way. So I'm gonna be a theology major, and I've gotten a lot of the classes I need to do out of the way already. So now I'm just going straight into theology.
Wow, that's got to be exciting too, because as we were just discussing a little bit ago, some of the things that might seem kind of, I don't know, boring or repetitious that you might have had to face first off going off to the university, that's all kind of by the wayside, and I think you're bound to be a lot more engaged, just not having to go through that redundancy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So where are you going to school at?
I'm going to Colorado Christian University.
All right. Well, congratulations. That's great. So now, what are some of the classes that you're going to be taking this fall? Just give people a, rather than English 101 and stuff like that. I mean, you're going to be engaged right away.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't have to take English, science, or math
Right.
now, so all I have to take is a history class. I'll have to take some philosophy,
Right.
public speaking, New Testament classes.
Wow. Very cool. That's exciting. And now, when did you first get involved in the benefits from the Aspire Arizona Foundation?
I started my junior year or my sophomore year. I think it was
Right.
my sophomore year.
And so just knocking out those required, like you said, English, math, science classes and that kind of thing. And did it make your high school experience, your junior and senior year, more difficult in your opinion, or was it just an added bonus to be able to go after these classes there rather than waiting until you got into college?
Well, I definitely think junior year is a hard year anyways.
Right.
So I was expecting a hard year, and that's when I had most of the Aspire classes.
Right.
But really, it was not super difficult for me to complete the courses.
Right.
And I definitely feel like it was better for me to do it in high school than in college, because I'm sure it's a lot different in college when the teachers aren't, they're not right with you in a smaller class.
Right, it's all on you to absorb the information and put it to use.
Yes.
So what's your ultimate goal? I gotta ask, I mean, going for a degree in theology, I think I know the answer to this, but where do you ultimately want to end up?
Hopefully, I'll end up being a pastor or
Right.
in youth ministry somewhere.
Right.
But, I'm just really going to let God tell me what to do.
Smart answer for a theology student. I like that. Now, and just for some perspective, Principal Simon, this has impacted students that have all kinds of different directions that they're choosing to go off in their life. A pretty wide array.
Yeah, absolutely. We have students that also go into our CTE programs and receive credit, but they might go into a marketing degree, and all of these classes will actually transfer with, well, we should say that these work towards that degree program.
Right. Wow, outstanding. And obviously, as we mentioned before, none of this would be possible without the support of the MHA Foundation. And so what an amazing difference they're making. And obviously, as we also mentioned, you can make contributions and support this yourself. If you're looking for a way to really make a difference in the future of people right here in Rim Country, I can't really think of a better way right now. So now, Dylan, when do you head off to Colorado?
Yes, I head off in actually a week.
Oh, just a week away.
Yeah.
So this is pretty exciting. I mean, and this is your first time away from home and all of that.
Yeah, it'll be pretty exciting.
So, and cooking for yourself.
Yeah.
That'll be an adventure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your your plans for this first year, your freshman year off at college? I mean, are there any extracurricular activities that you're planning on being involved with? I mean, you look like you should be able to slam dunk a basketball or most anything. So, I mean, do you have any other extracurricular ideas?
I am a volleyball player.
Oh, volleyball. There you
Yes,
go.
I'll be playing volleyball there.
And the net, what, comes up to about your waist?
Yeah. Around there.
Sorry. So now, do they have a volleyball team at this college?
It's a club team.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'll be playing that, and then definitely getting into intramurals.
Nice.
So.
I think that's outstanding. I think it's exciting and amazing. Again, going back, Principal Simon, to the experience that I had watching our granddaughter and how much of a head start that gave her going into college. She's going into teaching, I mean, it just seems to keep everything just really positive and I know with her, I mean, she's excited, she's engaged, and I mean, it just seems like the benefits are multifaceted.
Yeah, absolutely. The fear of the unknown is kind of taken care of, so to speak.
Right.
And every time we talk about the Aspire program or dual enrollment there at the school, I just think back, man, where was this whenever I was in school? Because,
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you, when I went off to college, I had no idea what to expect.
Right.
And I did not do so well my first year, and then I finally started to figure it out. But 2 master's degrees later, it took me a while to get it going. But our students are learning the ropes right away and able to step right in. And I mean, Dylan's a great example of that.
That's outstanding. And I would think too that, that there are probably students, and correct me if I go astray here, but, the financial aspect of the cost of going off to college and everything can be a bit daunting for anybody. But, there are some kids that are going to benefit from this and get a college education that might not otherwise have been able to.
Right, and everybody has the opportunity to take these classes. I mean,
Sure.
They just have to qualify through the college.
Well, there's so many classes presented now by Gila Community College here that where they can get a 2-year degree right here and even a 4-year degree and just stay right here in town, and that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a lot of opportunities that can actually come our way. I mean, ASU works through the college and into us,
Right.
and so we even have teacher programs where if there's somebody in the community that really wants to get into education,
Right.
we can help them with that too.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Now, and again, if people have students that are attending Payson High School this year, and they're thinking, wow, we need to find out more about this, the best thing for them to do is go in and see their guidance counselor.
Yeah, see the guidance counselor, speak to any teacher, come see me.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We will give them all the information that they need.
How difficult is it to get that all set up?
It's not difficult at all.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, just the registration process
Right.
every year at the beginning of the year. I mean, even at the end of the first semester, you decide that you want to get into, we can get you into a second round of classes.
Well, yeah, when you look at the cost of a college education these days, just 1 year, like in my granddaughter's case, being able to take 1 year off of that equation just financially, I mean, that's huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I smile every time I think that the financial benefit for kids, because I look back at my college debt, and I will not pay that off until I've retired, probably 10 years after retirement. So, yeah, it's brutal, and anything that we can do to set kids up financially as well. We don't want to send them out to a 4-year degree and then have $100,000 worth of debt in order to work to pay that off.
Right.
We want to do everything that we can to help those kids not have that kind of debt.
And again, none of this would be possible without the support of the MHA Foundation, who's been making all of these things happen for Aspire Arizona Foundation. And again, you have an opportunity to, if you so choose, if you're wanting to make a difference with perhaps some of the finances that you've been blessed with, and you want to pass that along to be a blessing to somebody else, you can make donations to Aspire Arizona and help in making these kinds of impacts on kids right here. What a great way for maybe some of these parents that have had kids that have gone through that to pay it forward a little bit for the next round of kids coming through school.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and we're continuing to grow. And then we had to cut back on a couple classes because we didn't have the teachers, but we are always looking at adding more classes to help better students along in their degree program.
Right.
So yeah, any benefit that we can get is welcome.
Well, again, they've been experiencing fantastic success, and they do need more community support. So consider checking into Aspire Arizona Foundation, the great work they're doing, and hats off to the MHA Foundation. And thanks again to our guests in studio this morning. Dylan Michaels, again, an Aspire student and recent Payson High School graduate. Really good to see you, Dylan. And you make me feel really old seeing you this morning, but I'm going to get over it. Also, I mean, I've known Dylan's dad for a long time, and golly, I didn't realize it had been this long since the last time you and I spoke. Also, Jeff Simon, principal of Payson High School, and Patty Beecham from the Aspire Arizona Foundation. She's a board member with them. Thanks to all of you for coming down and being with us this morning, and thank you for tuning in and listening to Community Spotlight on KRIM.